What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? Welcome back to another live watch along here with the Celtics taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Tonight's matchup is at 7:45, a weird start, but every team is slated to play in the NBA today. A fantastic day for NBA fans galore as they get to watch all 30 teams in one night. Celtics are taking on this Hawks team after they just took on the Hornets in a little bit of a road trip coming off of two back-to-back games in which they were dominant in winning both of those. And the Celtics lineup tonight, no Jaylen Brown as he is still dealing with those lower back issues. So Neemias Queta will be getting his first career start tonight for the Celtics alongside Al Horford with Jason Tatum, Derek White, and Drew Holiday. So a new look lineup for the Celtics tonight going up against an Atlanta Hawks team that is pretty solid on the offensive side, maybe not the greatest team on the defensive side. So hopefully players like Drew Holiday and Derek White can clamp up guard in Trae Young tonight. So that will be great. Jason Tatum rocking a headband as well for the Celtics in tonight's matchup. But how you guys doing? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Game started right away at 7:45. Wanted to get an immediate tip-off, I guess. So let's get into it. White also wearing a headband. So the Celtics maybe going with a headband look tonight. Queta, Derek White, and Jason Tatum all rocking the headband. Derek White for three. He misses. And it is a rebound for Capella. Trae Young trying to get this offense going. Hawks already got a point off of a free throw, but Tatum with the steal and Tatum with the drive and slam looking dominant. Trying to get this Celtics team in rotation and wanting to have a good night tonight with Jaylen Brown out. Versus the Hornets, he is usually known to be a very dominant player and showcase that in those two games. So hopefully that translates as well into this game on the road as well for Tatum. Celtics with some good ball movement early on, and they get two passes around the perimeter to find Drew Holiday in the corner, and that is a three-pointer for the Celtics as well. But here come the Celtics looking to get that defense instilled here. Queta playing some defense on Jalen Johnson. He gets by him. Jalen Johnson has looked as one of the better young wings the league has seen. Last season kind of emerging, and this season having another blossoming season for this Hawks squad. Queta calling for the ball, getting a nice pass to Tatum. Another great ball movement for the Celtics, finding Holiday in the same corner for three, but he misses it. Celtics unable to grab the rebound, and now here come the Hawks. Trae Young with a floater, it misses, and Holiday grabs the rebound. Now Holiday in transition for the Celtics. Lob to Queta, and he slams it in. Neemias Queta, first points as a starter for the Celtics, getting them early and involved on in this action. I love it from the Celtics. Veliz Shea with the three, and he drains it. The first overall pick, or Jalen Johnson, excuse me, with the three. Jalen Johnson looking solid for this Hawks squad off the rip. Dyson Daniels has been also a nice acclimation. I think a very solid guard to work alongside Trae Young. Great pass to Derek White, wide open for three. It rims out. Hawks get the rebound. Celtics not controlling the glass so far on those boards, getting any second chance attempts. Trae Young with the floater, high off the glass, misses, but Queta boxing out Capella to grab the defensive rebound. Now the Celtics working fast in transition. Horford for three. He pulls up and he drains it. Catch and shoot for Horford. That is tough. Very fast-paced game so far. No stoppages as this game has been going on for 3 minutes just back and forth. Hawks now getting some ball movement going around in the perimeter. And Shea now hits a three. No worries, Celtics were blocked. The game just started. But yes, Queta is starting, and he already has some points so far and a rebound. So looking solid. Coming off of that Hornets performance, they are giving him some more run. And Tatum, deep three right there. He's in his bag tonight. Like I said, rocking the headband is Tatum. A new look and something that hopefully can bring the Celtics some good life tonight. Trae Young misses the three. Long rebound out to Capella at the three-pointer. He gets it. Now Daniels will go to the rack and gets a floater to go, getting by two of the Celtics. And the Hawks tied up at 13. A very fast-paced game so far, back and forth between these teams. Kata setting the screen high. Tatum sidestep. Kata down low. Kata moving around on Johnson on the beautiful movement by Kata there. Patient with the ball, trying to get Trae Young to bite, gets him to go, and gets or Jalen Johnson to bite, gets him to go, and gets the nice little floater in. Now the Celtics lob to Kata. Oh, he misses that one. Nemi on Trae Young playing some good defense at the 3-point line. And now an outlet pass to Kata, and he's too slow to get there. A little bit of a bad pass by Holiday. That's what I'm saying, Celtics Roblox. It's a little weird seeing them both wear headbands, but who knows? Maybe tonight they wanted to unlock some inner powerness with the headband to kind of take them and overlook them, because we all know Jaylen Brown's out tonight. Player like Jason Tatum's going to have to deliver for this Celtics squad without the other star not playing. But Kata's going to be taken out here. Tillman now inserted in the game. Blocked by Horford at the 3-point line, coming over on Jalen Johnson. And this is what I like. Tillman and Horford playing alongside each other, I think, gives Tillman the best looks, because they can both swing over and help out on defense. Tillman catches the three, passes to Tatum, and Tatum with another one. 3 threes for Jason Tatum so far early on. And the Hawks take a timeout as the Celtics are up 5 points. Like I said, without Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum is going to need to step up and deliver for the Celtics squad and be that alpha scorer, with other players like Derek White, Drew Holiday, Al Horford picking up the slack, being those secondary and third scorers. And Jason Tatum is doing that right now with already half the Celtics points from 3-pointers alone. Let's go. Not even halfway through the first quarter, and Jason Tatum is lighting it up. Corporate Dystopia is here as well. What's up, Corporate Dystopia? The Hawks are kind of underrated. I respect them. I do too. They ultimately are a team that I kind of. It's a weird team, in my opinion, with the Hawks, because I feel like at their best potential, truly, with Trae Young, he's an underrated point guard, one of the best point guards in the league off in general, but offensively, definitely a top 3 offensive point guard. He is severely underrated. I think the fit with DeJounte Murray just didn't really work as well. I think Dyson Daniels is a very, very solid addition, as I think he can also play make, but he's not going to need the ball in his hands as much as Murray did. So he can kind of play off ball for a player in Trae Young, and then Trae Young can play off ball on him and play catch and shoot, which is very beneficial for the Hawks and how they kind of run their offense. Also, Jalen Johnson was a player that I thought deserved possible MIP last season. He is a player this season that has also looked very, very solid. And another player I like on their team is Onyeka Okongwu. Now, I know he doesn't start. I know Clint Capella is starting over him, but I think he should be starting over Clint Capella. And like I said, this Hawks team has some very good players. Players even like Bogdan Bogdanovic, DeAndre Hunter, players that I haven't even mentioned that are, still solid contributor role players, or, help out on some good competing teams. Ultimately, I don't think the Hawks are at that point right now. I think they could be if they got an extra star, but I think at this point the Hawks are kind of in a tough Eastern Conference and even in a tough division in the Southeast, with the Heat being pretty solid, the Magic looking pretty young. Yeah, the Hawks are the third best team, but I think in a couple years maybe the Hornets might have a better outlook compared to them. So if they decide to move off of Trae Young and going for a reset, I wouldn't mind it. But if they do want to contend and if they do want to compete and not be like a 7th or 8th seed, I do think they have to go out and get another superstar or another star player to pair alongside Trae Young. And ultimately, I think it'd be best for the Hawks organization and for Trae Young to move on, so that the Hawks can kind of do their little reset with their number 1 overall pick, kind of figure out who really works alongside Jalen Johnson, Onyeka Okongwu, Zachary Rize-Shar, Dyson Daniels. Excuse me. And then also then get some assets for Trae Young to kind of build around that in an Eastern Conference that is still solid. You could have a young Hawks team that could look very dominating in 2 to 3 years if you build around that case. Excuse me. Yeah, I agree, Celtics Roblox. I think he's very, very underrated. Just noted JST as the headband, LOL. Legendary. Exactly. I'm excited to see that. Trae Young is a baller. They gave us hell in the first round of playoffs a few years ago. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They have a good enough squad. It's just that in the Eastern Conference, I think there are some better teams. I do think that they are a competing team, like in the play-in. I think they are around the Hornets, so around the 9-10 in my opinion. But I think they could be as high as 7 or 8 if the Heat have some injuries, or as we've seen with the Pacers, or maybe even the Sixers dealing with some injuries. Maybe they're not looking the greatest. Or the Bucks, maybe a team like Atlanta could pass them, and maybe if one of them has a bad season. But I think the Hawks are a little bit like mid. They're not bad, and they're not bad, and they're not fantastic. They're very good and severely underrated. It's just kind of what direction do they want to go in? Do they want to go in the competing direction and going all in, or do they want to go in the rebuild direction with trading Trae Young? I think we'll ultimately find out at the trade deadline with this Hawks team because we'll see them make a move after their first 20 to 25 games. My screen is glitching, so I cannot see the game, but the Hawks just made a layup. I'm sorry. Okay, now it's back. Tatum's on pace for 6 threes a quarter, on pace to smash the record. That's what I'm saying. Tillman for three, sharing the ball. Ooh, air ball from Tillman. That's not great. I watched a YouTube video on Trey's channel about his rehab, and he's a solid dude, down to earth dude, super chill guy. That's what I'm saying. He seems like a really nice guy. A lot of these NBA players are super cool dudes. I love getting like the behind the scenes stuff. I think with the new documentary, The Starting Five, we really got that this season. We're getting to see behind the scenes with like Jimmy Butler and Domantas Sabonis, and I think that was really very cool to see. Tatum just missed his first 3-pointer, and Dyson Daniels is also 4 for 4 from the field. And Dyson Daniels is one of the players that I'm very high on for this Hawks team. He's a player that I really like with this fit. And Trae Young just hit a freaking deep two over Xavier Tillman, fading away. That was ridiculous. Like I said, Trae Young, one of the better point guards in the league, if not the best offensive point guard in the league. He is absolutely underrated. Drew Holiday, though, with the mid-range miss. Trae Young is a player that gets snubbed off all-star lists, gets snubbed off of people's like top 5 point guards in the East. He is severely underrated. He is super good. And it's just because the Hawks just haven't been a top tier team since they made the Eastern Conference Finals, unfortunately. Capella's going to get taken out there after a little bit of a miscommunication. But yeah, watching this replay, Trae Young, they send two on him. He gets the pass down low. Dyson Daniels, the reverse layup. That was a nice pass. And then hitting a just even more ridiculous deep two and fading away. Charles Miller's here. What's up, Charles? Can't wait to finish this team. We'll be here for a while. Bruce, what's up, Charles? Glad you'll be in the stream for a bit. Hope your night is going well. Hope everyone else's night is going good as well. Let me know what you guys thinking about down below in the comment section on the game. Who you guys are interested in. Pritchard is now in, and that was a beautiful pass by Xavier Tillman, and an even better cut by Peyton Pritchard, finding him to get the layup. Celtics now with the lead, or taking the lead up a little bit more. Long three. Tatum with the board. Celtics are going to get fast here in transition. Peyton Pritchard, immediate. Peyton Pritchard's, and the Hawks need another timeout, but Peyton Pritchard, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely underrated as well. On a steal of a contract. Catches that ball from Jason Tatum at court, takes one dribble, catch and shoot, and it's in. Peyton Pritchard, my oh my, on $7 to $8 million, fans should be ecstatic that he is on that type of a deal because, like I've been saying, he could start on a plethora of these teams. Look at teams like the Brooklyn Nets. Yes, they have Dennis Schroeder. Yeah, they have other players, but he could easily start on a Nets team. A team like the Wizards, Jordan Poole, Bub Carrington, he could start on that Wizards team if they wanted to be better. If you look at a team like the Raptors, I think he could even be better than Emmanuel Quickly at some points for that Raptors team. You look at some of these other squads and these other opponents out west as well. Even with the Spurs, I think he could start over there. I think with the Jazz, he could start over there. I think the Blazers, he could start over there. Yes, some of them are bad teams, but I ultimately do think that Pritchard could have a legitimate role on a team, and having him as a bench piece on this type of contract is a luxury for Celtics fans. What's up, Celtics Roblox? And somehow he's voted most overrated player, severely underrated. Well, I'm glad you agree, Celtics Roblox. I know a lot of people are also in that, kind of column. A lot of people do think Trae Young is overrated. A lot of people are in that spectrum. And I feel like with Trae Young, it's kind of two sides. It's either he's very overrated or he's very underrated. And there's kind of no in between with Trae Young, which is very sad because when we talk about these players and when we discuss and break down these guys, they're obviously human beings. So when they hear these discussions about themselves, it must do something mental to them. And I ultimately feel bad for them that they have to go through that. But Trae Young, like I said, I think is severely underrated. The last couple seasons, he's been severely knocked for no reason just because his team hasn't been successful, but him himself has been very successful on the stat sheet. And I truly think that if he was on a team like the Miami Heat instead of Tyler Hero or Terry Rozier, or if he was on the Los Angeles Lakers, or if he was on the I wouldn't say Golden State Warriors, but I think the Heat or the Lakers, maybe the Orlando Magic as well. Look at those three teams, I would say. If he's on either of those three teams, all three of those teams are already, pretty solid on the season, already have a bright outlook. He already elevates them to a next step. And that's what we would see with a Trae Young addition. And the fact that, he's kind of by himself in Atlanta with no other star might hinder that as well. But I do think that Trae Young is one of the better point guards, if not top point guards in the league, and definitely deserves that recognition. Jimmy High Roller, I love Jimmy High Roller. Had an experiment, adding a 4 point line 30 feet out, and Trey is the best. Yeah, he would easily be the best 4 point shooter for sure. I know that obviously people. Oh, sorry, I just disappeared. I know a lot of people would think Curry would be it, but his catch and shoot and the ability that he'd be able to get the shot off from the 4 point line would be absolutely ridiculous. Here comes some substitutions here for the Celtics, and we're getting to see the bench unit out here. Tatum with Pritchard, Hauser, Cornette, and Jordan Walsh. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And as Garrison Matthews hits a three, ex-Boston Celtic. But Garrison Matthews for this Hawks team has had a pretty good game for them so far. So we'll have to wait and see how this looks. But the Hawks are also running with some bench guys. They also got Dyson Daniels in there. He's going to be guarding Jason Tatum, their best defender on the floor at the moment for the Hawks. Yeah, here comes Johnson. He's going to be coming in as well. Dyson's going to be getting taken out, so maybe we'll see Johnson on Walsh. David Roddy is in the game as well. I forgot he's on the Hawks. Here comes Pritchard. Step back. Nope, not going to take it. Cornette gets the pass. Pritchard. Step back again. Ooh, off the front rim. That's tough. And now, ooh, all the way down the court. Who is that for the Hawks? I do not know who that is. Number 2? Unfortunately, I'm sorry, brother. I do not know who you are. I will find out who you are, though. And if I do know who you are, I'll give you your credit, because I do know a lot of people in the NBA. I just don't know off the number. Tatum with Roddy on him. Tatum getting by Roddy. And one! That is JT MVP, baby. Two guys coming right at him. David Roddy on him one-on-one. He's going to dribble right by him and take Okongwu's body and finish over him. Tatum now going to the line. Now shooting one. Or all of them. All three Ball brothers, a team race. Yep. He ain't get no balls. That's one. Here come the Hawks passing the ball around. Johnson. Ooh, good deflect by Cornette. Looking for an alley-oop to Onyeka Okongwu, who says no. Tatum step in three. Oh! Jason Tatum is in his bag, ladies and gentlemen. He is not missing. The Celtics are on a 12-3 run in the last 22 minutes and 29 seconds, and Jason Tatum is looking unstoppable. Here come the Hawks with some ball movement. Onyeka Okongwu, tough score over Luke Cornette, but Cornette playing some solid defense on that contest. Tatum another three. Ooh, that one rims out. Walsh trying to get the rebound coming in from the corner. Unfortunate as he gets boxed out. Good block from Cornette. No, that's not a foul. Transition. And it's not like those guys are slouches. So, you have to respect Hauser, Pritchard. You have to respect Cornette going to the basket. So, if you have guys out there that provide space, you got aggressive player, top 5 player in the league, and Jason Tatum is absolutely ridiculous. Also, for Celtics fans that would like to know this, Rob Williams is expected to play tonight. Tatum has made 3 threes, Celtics Roblox. He is 5 for 7 from the field, but that is his third three. So I guess I was wrong. I thought he made more than that.
The Hawks come in as the worst team in the NBA in defending the three. Well, made threes allowed about 17 per game, and opponent 3-point percentage.
Maybe one of his threes counted as a two.
Can't stop the three.
But here come the Celtics now.
Favorite play, Drew.
Tatum, pass to Walsh. Walsh for three. Misses that one. Cornette tries to get the board, unable to. Yeah, Tatum has been blowing up the stat sheets. Yeah, I'm sorry, Celtics Roblox. JT MVP season, bro, locked F in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's been balling, corporate dystopia. Jean-Luc is here as well. What's up, Jean-Luc? How we doing? Let's go, C's. Yeah, no, I think he has three. Yeah, I thought he had 4 or 5 as well. Kongwu for three. He misses. Walsh grabs the rebound. Now Pritchard misses his 3-point opportunity. Hauser picking up Johnson. Good coverage. Johnson misses, gets his own rebound, and gets it in. Not good. Celtics got to do a little bit better on that box and out there, not letting Johnson get his own rebound. Hawks are off more offensive rebounds than the Celtics, something we saw similar in the first quarter versus the Pacers. Tatum sidestep three. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jason Tatum has 16 points. That's his 4-3 Celtics Roblox. Oh my God. And these aren't just normal like catch and shoot threes. These are ridiculously deep sidestep threes. Good steal from Walsh. Pass to Hauser for three. He misses Cornette crashing, trying to get the board. Unable to. Come on, man. Look at Tatum. Get him out the game. This isn't even right. No, I love it. Keep him in. Keep him in. Let him keep going off. Let's see him drop. He's got 16 in the first quarter once again. He did this on Friday as well.
Comes up well short, and the Celtics with another high scoring first quarter have a 5-point lead.
5-point lead for the Celtics, 35-30. We did see the Hawks have some, high scoring volume points, but the Celtics with Jason Tatum are just absolutely on fire. 16 points on 6 for 8 shooting, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal for JET so far. And we're just 1 quarter into the game. So if you think they're going to rock the rim right out of the gates, or you want to RSVP to the block party, yes, sir. Or you think it's going to start raining threes. Let's go! FanDuel has more ways to bet on players so you can make your hunches happen. Right now, new customers bet $5 get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Plus, all customers get 3 months of NBA League Pass on us. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Let me know your guys' reaction so far in the first quarter. Like I said, Tatum has been balling. We have been seeing him really take over. Like I said, we needed him to step up in tonight's contest, and he has been doing that so far, delivering 16 points for the Celtics. We did see Neemias Queta get the start. He did get some points so far, get some rebounds. Was taken out for Xavier Tillman, who has looked a little bit better than Queta, but we'll have to see what the Celtics do. Cornette has also gotten some time. But Tatum with that second lineup right there with Tatum, or with Pritchard, with Cornette, with Hauser, and with Walsh looked very solid. I really liked what I saw with Jordan Walsh as well, just doing those little intangible things. He got a nice little deflection steal, which led to Celtics transition points. And Jordan Walsh also made some smart passes, which ultimately led up for the Celtics getting some threes as well. So Walsh kind of staying in this role, and with him kind of being able to showcase this role through the preseason, it's definitely been able to guarantee him some minutes and warranty him some minutes throughout the season, here and there. But with JV being out tonight, he's definitely going to see some extended run. And this is the type of moments where Brown needs to step up and our Walsh needs to step up and deliver is when Brown is out, so that Joe Mazzulla can see that he can live up to this potential, and Joe Mazzulla feels more confident in giving him those minutes.
To make sure all students have an equal chance at success. Vote no on question 2.
The Dodgers brought up Ice Cube during World Two when in Game 3 the Yankees responded by bringing in Fat Joe. That's a riot. Yeah, I saw Celtics Roblox. You see the Celtics, Robert Kraft gave the Pats plane to the Dodgers or whatever because they won. That was funny. Emmanuel Tavares is here as well. What's up, Emmanuel? Let's get this win, Celtics. Let's go, baby. Let's do it. He would get 16 threes at this pace. Could beat the record. Let's see. Let's see. I think he'll slow down on the three-point volume, or his shot will slow down a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see. The Celtics might blow it out of the water at that point, but if not, maybe he could get to that. Celtics are back, though. Tatum is on the bench here right now, so no Tatum on the floor. Hauser for three, misses that. Derek White with a little bit of a tip, though, getting a little distracted on the Hawks side, and he gets the steal. Shot clock issue here.
Yeah, the Hawks possessed it. It should be a 24 for the Celtics, as opposed to an offensive rebound, which would be 14.
Celtics will have to inbound it here.
Check the live lines presented by FanDuel. Odds and lines are subject to change. I think Abby's setting these herself.
Pritchard for three. Yes, sir. Peyton Pritchard. That is a big time shot from the man. Delivering for the Celtics. 8 points for Pritchard and Cornette. Ooh. Dodgers are the only LA team I like, Charles Miller. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Dodgers. I'm not a fan of any. Like, the only team I would say that's an LA team that I'm a fan of. Actually, there's a couple. I wouldn't say like for NFL, not I don't hate the Rams, but I'm not a fan of them. I like the Chargers when they were San Diego. So if you want to count them. But then like besides that, baseball, like Angels, Dodgers, not a big fan. Hockey, the Kings, I don't mind, but then Lakers and Clippers, I don't mind the Clippers actually. But
23s, 8-2s.
Johnson gonna fake pass it out here. Johnson driving, Johnson. Ooh, soft rolling in. Royals. Yeah, I like the Royals. The Royals are nice. They have a young squad with Bobby Witt Jr. He's supposed to be very solid. I know they also have I know Charles, if you've seen Josh Crampton in here, he's a big Salvador Perez fan. Oh, Pritchard blocked by Garrison Matthews. Okay, Garrison. Earning yourself some rotation minutes, I see. Okay, okay. Big time block on Pritchard. And Pritchard, we're in the JB's shoes tonight. Like that. Drew for three in the corner. Misses that. Celtics going to try to control the rebound. Unfortunately, do not.
Should we shout out Gary Washburn? Gary said, anytime I feel like we're a little.
Here come the Hawks.
I feel like we're a little three happy right now. Just a little bit. Gary just wants you to.
Matthews, mid range. He hits it.
Because when we made 23, I'm over here like, hey, Gary Washburn, hey, this right now. Washburn just highlighted this whole story and press.
And Derek White for three. He misses. Cornette trying to grab the rebound. Unfortunate. The Hawks have just been controlling the boards here at this whole entire game. Celtics not really able to get any offensive or defensive rebounds. And there's a lob to Okongwu, who shakes the rim from Johnson. And Jalen Johnson, he is looking solid for this Hawks squad. One of these nice young rising stars. Maybe he could be that second star for this Hawks team ultimately. But he is looking really good. Baseball's my weakest sport. I only know the good players, but the Red Sox, I know most people. Yeah, that's how I am too, Celtics Roblox. I don't really know much about baseball. The most I know is really from MLB, the show. When I play that once a season, I kind of figure out where everybody is when that happens, or like through free agency, but I ultimately do forget. And I don't really know much about baseball. I don't really know much about the Red Sox either. I know like some players on the Red Sox, obviously, but I don't know like their full in-depth really roster. I gotta kind of brush up on that, but more into basketball and football, and I know more about basketball. Like I know most of the rosters for every team. I would say, if not all.
Massachusetts, and athletes like me.
I could name at least like 8 to 10 probable people on every roster, I think. Which isn't like a flex, but just is like, just like I know more about basketball than I know about any sport. It's a sport I watch the most. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I only know the roster from MLB The Show. That's how I feel. Like I log on to MLB The Show. I play for April, maybe till June. I learn the players, learn the cards. Don't really watch baseball for the first month, but like, we'll keep up to date to kind of who's good in the first month or two. And then once summer hits, by July 4th, I have not cared about baseball and will not care about baseball until October hits or end of September when the playoff race gets interesting. Like when the playoff race was starting to get interesting with like the Tigers and the Royals and stuff like that. That's when I was intrigued. And even though I didn't really watch it, I was still like interested in it. I like wanted to stay up to date. But when it's like the middle of the season, game 93, I'm not watching. Regardless if the Red Sox are 81-11, I'm not watching. Al Horford's mom. This is awesome. Abby Chin's interviewing Al Horford's mom. Nice. Forgot. Obviously, Al Horford, as we all know, drafted third overall by the Atlanta Hawks in the 2007 NBA draft alongside Kevin Durant. Horford spent his most of his career in Atlanta before he signed with the Boston Celtics in the summer of 2016, where he played here for a couple of seasons before he ultimately then went to the Sixers in free agency, then was traded to the Thunder, and then was ultimately traded back to the Celtics, where he has won an NBA championship. But Horford, who's obviously played for four organizations, won obviously twice, kind of going back home to Atlanta. This must be nice to be in his old city that obviously he played for a majority of his career, place where he used to call home. Cato with the nice rebound though. Horford's mom still talking, which is very beautiful to hear. Talking about Al Horford's great legacy and how much this means for her family and everything. I love it. So great. Ooh, beautiful behind the back pass from Drew Holiday. Oh, nice hook shot from Cato. Unfortunately, didn't fall, but love Al Horford's mom. Shout out Al Horford's mom. Johnson for three, left wide open. You cannot leave Jalen Johnson wide open for three, ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing? But yes, Al Horford obviously got numerous awards. Went to the DR, got like a medal named after him for winning a championship. That just must be great for his country, great for himself, great for his legacy. Pritchard splashes another three, and that's big for the Celtics as they hit that three back from Jalen Johnson.
Johnson's got 16 points. Trey Young getting ready to check into the game. Here's Risa Shea.
Here comes Risa Shea, blocked by Holiday. He said, not today. You are not getting in there. Risa Shea, Holiday jumping, putting those bunnies in.
Driving baseline on two, pump faking it. No way. You're just shooting it because you don't know what else to do right there.
Here come the Hawks inbounding the ball. Pella catching. Here comes Johnson with the floater. Rolls out. Keita, nice slap of the defensive rebound to keep the Celtics possession. Now ball movement from the Celtics. Great drives. Run a little bit of a weave action right there. And they just cut into the basket as Hauser who finds it. And the Celtics get the possession. And Derek White getting a little bit of a steal with Risa Shea going up on him. Now Pritchard to Holiday for three. Yes, sir.
Go wide open in the corner, and they somehow the Hawks lose Holiday for the wide open three.
Holiday, that's 2 threes in the corner for him tonight. Once again, Holiday is taking a sacrificial role himself coming onto the Celtics team, kind of resorting to a little bit, maybe like a fourth star with Porzingis out, maybe more of a third, fourth, but with Porzingis kind of being in there, more of a fourth, fifth. But Holiday tonight with no Jaylen Brown, no Kristaps Porzingis, him and Derek White need to be that either combined second star or third star. And Holiday has been showing that with getting more opportunities to score and create his own shot. He just caught another nice Hail Mary pass from Derek White, gets the layup, and now the Hawks are taking a timeout. But 5 straight points for Holiday right there on those 2 quick possessions, and just that's just quick momentum for himself to kind of get back into the game and kind of get back to speed on things. Once again, Celtics team on paper is truly stacked when you really look at it. Holiday, in my opinion, at this point of his career, is most likely a third star, fourth star on a championship team. He's playing a fourth/fifth star when healthy on the Celtics squad. Player in Porzingis, I think, could be a second or third star. He's playing as a third/fourth. Derek White, I believe, could be a second/third star. He's playing like a third. He plays most nights as a third/fourth. Kind of checking in with them three. And then Tatum and Brown, seeming handily, both of them could be a number one option on a championship level team, in my opinion. But both of them take that sacrificial role of playing alongside each other and overlapping and helping each other to get the team's best success. And that's what I think is the best thing about this Celtics squad in general, is just that no one cares about who's doing the best on each team. All they care about is just winning the game. Jeff's here as well. What's up here? Yo, just got here. Seems to see a little flat. What am I missing? What's up, Jeff? Sorry I missed your comment. Don't know how long you've said it here, but Celtics are just not looking dominant on the glass. The rebounding just hasn't been key. Their three-pointing and their shooting has been good, but they have taken a lot of three-pointers, and in the first quarter, they were hitting a little bit more. In the second quarter, they've just gone a little bit flat-footed, so they've been prioritizing more of the two-pointers, which have gotten them a little bit back to life, which we saw with that last possession. So I think the Celtics are going to show a little bit of a difference there, have to prioritize getting those rebounds, but if they can stay clean, if they can do better on cleaning up the glass and getting those rebounds, but also being able to throw the Hawks off with not only just taking 3-pointers, but being able to drive to the rack and then sometimes kick out for 3-pointer, I think they'll be able to get back into this game and give it a little bit more of a lead. Janky, says Shiv. What's up, Shiv? How you doing? Hope the COD grind's going good. Saying basketball's my best sport, that's what I'm thinking. Hey, how we doing? What's up, Shiv? How we doing? No hockey from me. He's still good. No idea when he will retire. I do like the Boston Red Sox. Well, that's good, Charles. I know you're from Kansas, so I'm glad you like the Red Sox. No hockey is totally fine, but I have no idea when Horford will retire. Some people thought this year. I think so. Next year's on a contract extension. I think ultimately it could be this season if the Celtics do win back to back, but he still has proven to us that he does have some in the tank. So if Horford, after this contract, still wants to play, I'm sure the Celtics would welcome him back as well. And it would be a team friendly contract. It'd obviously be a veteran minimum contract at that point for Al Horford. Maybe a little bit of a bump, maybe a $4 to $5 million contract to give him, some generous money because he's been such a loyal veteran, has taken, that leadership role off the bench. Celtics want to give him some extra payday. But as we know, the Celtics are a little bit tight in money already. So if they weren't able to, if they could only give him, the standard of veteran minimum contract, I'm sure Horford would take that for a year or two to stay in, to stick with this squad if he wants to. So, like I said, I think possibly could be this season, but I realistically don't think it will. I think he's still going to go one more year, if not two. So I think after this season, we'll have to wait and see. But I would not be shocked if he signed a veteran minimum contract. But Zachary Rize Shar, ooh wee, underneath the basket, little circus magic getting by Nemus Keita. That was nice. Avoiding the block. Yeah, that's the same thing, Celtics Roblox. That's how I feel about baseball too. Baseball's my favorite, but the C's are very close. Wow, Jeff, that's nice to know. Are you a Red Sox fan as well, or what's your favorite baseball team? Ooh, that's also as well. Gemini Power. That's great. I don't know.
Stopped at 11-0 Celtics run. Now he fires a three.
Ooh, Shea misses the three, but Pritchard catches it, gives it to White. White off. Oh, White going through some contact, and they're gonna get the foul here. Celtics versus Hawks game. Not gonna lie to you guys, has been very, very fast paced. This game started less than an hour ago, and we are almost at halftime. This is wild how quick this game is going. Not a lot of whistles. Very, very quick in transition. Both teams not playing scrappy. Both teams scoring at will on each other and missing shots. As Derek White misses that free throw. And we'll see Daniels checking back in, and Tatum's getting ready to check back in as well.
Headband well, Jason Tatum back in the game. Hauser takes a seat.
Sam Hauser will go take a seat. But yeah, Zachary Rize-Shar. Rize-Shar looking really good.
Part of the headband bros.
Luke Cornett in a headband should have said Scal. That would be awesome. What would you guys think? And then they pan to Luke. That's awesome.
That'd be great. Upside down logo. It's cool like that. Yeah.
Rize-Shea. Now Tatum grabs it.
It's okay. Capella and Tatum were tangled up on the other side. Are they redrawing the play?
Baseball. I'm first address. My first address was 75th Fenway. Dad said we'd hear the Fenway crowd from outside basement apartment. That's awesome. Nah, that's crazy. Tatum, another three! Sorry, Jeff. Sorry to cut you off right there. But Tatum with a beautiful three right there. Hawks score in transition with a Roddy dunk. But yeah, I love going to Fenway. I went to Fenway actually twice this season. It was absolutely insane. I loved being able to go to Fenway ultimately. But living by Fenway and being over that area must have been fantastic. I can't imagine walking to Fenway Park and just getting to experience that, especially back in the day when the tickets are just, not the cheapest, but a little bit less expensive. Being able to go to those games, being able to experience that in Boston would have been crazy every single night. And being able to basically hear the game from home, knowing if they won or not, just off of that, is key as well. If you're not even watching the game. Tatum, though. Ooh. Ooh, over Trey Young.
And then somehow had the balance to shoot. And usually Tatum likes to sit back and all that stuff going left. Not right. Man. Missouri just averaged more than 30. And he landed before he got it away to Pritchard. The Celtics turnover, their fourth. Tatum got closed that kid on that screen. Go shoulder to hip. He'll get wide open. He'll really compromise the defense. So he's too far away from the screen. Just like you got to come off like.
Yeah, Tatum is absolutely insane. Rize-Shea misses. Pritchard with the rebound. Oh, Dyson Daniels with the steal, and that's what I'm saying. Daniels can do that. He's fast in transition. He gets right behind you.
He's in rarefied air with the stats he puts up.
That Trey Young passing to Jalen Johnson, spinning off Pritchard. Good contest from Kada coming over to help out, and he misses the shot. Really like that shot contest. Now Derek White, free basket, slam it home. Cannot let him just waltz into the paint. That is free for the Celtics. Hawks not really taking these timeouts if the Celtics are going and scoring. Celtics up 11 here. Quinn Snyder just letting the game play out, letting his Hawks kind of figure it out. Daniels will try to put Pritchard in the post. And he passes, and good defense from White on a cutting Trey Young. Gets the deflection, and now the Celtics working in transition. Tatum three. Oh! Ah!
In this first half. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you guys, the NBA is really hard. Not hard for that guy. Hawks need a timeout.
Oh my God. That is 5 threes for Tatum. Oh my gosh. Jason Tatum is him.
All right, let's take a look. Good job by Derek White. And then watch this push. Look at Tatum. Gets his feet right. A little bit of a shove. Jason Tatum has gone radioactive here tonight. You see the shooting numbers. He's only taken one free throw. He missed it. Coming into this game, he had shot 45 free throws in his last three, which was a career high and the most by a Celtic since 2006, Paul Pierce.
This is absolutely insane. Jason Tatum, the truth, and he owns Trae Young. What's up, T Snizzle? How we doing? Tatum has 6 threes. Let's go. JT is sending the message to the league right now. This is about all the team. He's exactly corporate dystopia. This is what I'm saying. He's sending the league a message. And maybe I was overreacting a little bit over the summer, but he is doing that exactly right. Making sure he's putting it on notice this season and that he's going to compete for that MVP. 21 fast break points for the Celtics compared to the Hawks, 0. Kata trying to get that possession, but unable to get the rebound. Are the C's going to get the all-time best season this year? I think they can. Highlight this comment for later. I'd like to see, Jeff. I'd like to see. I'll definitely keep an eye on this. I think they can necessarily. It'd be tough, but because they already have one loss on the season, and without KP, if they had fully healthy KP, I think they definitely could, but I don't necessarily know. Kata diving for the loose ball, though, keeping it alive for the Celtics. Tatum 3 again. Oh, misses that one. Want to see. Horford, get another steal for the Celtics. Tatum pass in transition to Pritchard, and he gets the layup. Take foul on Trae Young. Team record is 8. The NBA record is 14. I do not know what the record is. Let me look.
Can I see it again? It wasn't exactly Grant Williams hitting Tatum at that point. Do you foul free throw plus the ball? Did he really foul? Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's a theory.
14 is by in a game is Clay. Don't know what the team one is. Celtics almost broke the team one in the regular season. They tied it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they can't guard him. They can't guard him, T-Snin, so it is absolutely right. And now Tatum is going to get an absolute beatdown as he gets backing down Dyson Daniels and getting another and one. Celtics really laying the hammer on this Hawks team, who, like I said, just truly pretty good offensively, not really that great defensively, and just lacks another star, lacks another piece that can really take over and kind of be that replacement. And unfortunately for the Hawks, that might just be kind of ripping the band-aid off and going into the rebuild route. And unfortunately for the Hawks this season, they don't have their pick, so they kind of can't unless they trade Trae Young to the Spurs to get their pick back. But, and I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but maybe the Hawks try it this year, one last year, so they can try to get a good pick. David Roddy just hit his head on the rim right there after going up for that dunk. That's not good. He's holding the back of his head. He's still going to keep playing, but we'll see what the Hawks ultimately do. But if they can definitely get a lot for some of their players. They have some very, very solid players in Trae Young, Clint Capella, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and DeAndre Hunter that I ultimately think all could get moved, and the Hawks could either get draft picks, younger players, and or talent that could fill in that roster to suffice it enough to make it interesting and interesting enough for fans to be intrigued with some young talent, but also leave to fans to wonder what the team could potentially be in the future with it potentially developing. Ultimately, depending on what team you trade Trae Young to. If you trade him to the Heat and you get, Tyler Hero back, then maybe that's another player that could grow playing alongside Jalen Johnson in a couple seasons. Trae Young airball 3. Celtics grab the rebound. Kata down low. He's going to get fouled by Okongwu. If you trade Capella, maybe you could get some more draft capital. Maybe you could get another young piece. If you traded a player in DeAndre Hunter, who's a wing, who makes around $20 million, maybe you could get another wing. It's a little bit young, like a younger piece. I don't necessarily know, but I'm sure the Hawks could find moves. Bogdan Bogdanovic could easily help out some teams as a 3-point shooter. Here come the Celtics. Cade at the free throw line. Let's go. Yeah. Trae Young, time of possession first, touches second, passes received first, passes made third, field goals made 30 feet away first.
71 passes made third.
Yeah, I know corporate dystopia. It's absolutely crazy, and I kind of predicted that. I'm not gonna lie. I had the Bucks be in the 6th seed in the East. I didn't think they'd be this bad, but Brooke Lopez is a little bit older. Chris Middleton not able to play in back to backs and still not be able to even being able to suit up for the Bucks this season has definitely hurt them, and I think it's a little questionable for Bucks fans. I think that they could be another team that also could be in the midst of blowing it up. Holiday cross corner pass to Derek White. He's unable to hit the three. Holiday trying to fight for the rebound. But yeah, with all the news about, Giannis coming up before the season saying the Bucks could trade him to, Bucks or Giannis fantasy odds. Bucks could be trading Giannis after this season if things do not go right. But him and Dame look solid. So if I'm the Bucks, I'm trying to get pieces with them. Horford pass to Derek White. Horford to Tatum. Tatum to Holiday.
Single digits on the timeline.
Holiday now to Tatum pass. Tatum 3-point line. Derek White catch. There we go, Celtics. Tatum making beautiful passes while also making beautiful shots tonight.
For the Celtics in the first half.
Oh, really? I did not see that, Corporate Dystopia. Where did you see that? Daniels takes a three, misses it. Tatum grabs a rebound. Because if that's the case, then I could easily see it happening more. But I know the Bucks don't have a lot of talent. I know the Bucks with a second apron, it's a little bit obviously more difficult to trade pieces as well. So if you're trading Middleton, you have to trust in him, but also have to find a team that wants Middleton at $40 million. Tatum wide open. Holiday corner. Derek White, 6 points at the end of the quarter, and Jason Tatum's just finding them effortlessly. Celtics up 22 and taking care of this team easily on the road. Hawks look absolutely deflated after this half. Celtics 35 in the first quarter, 40 in the second. Absolutely crazy. Do I think Doc is on the block? I absolutely do think that Doc Rivers is on the block. Ultimately, I think the Doc Rivers hire was absolutely abysmal to begin with. Adrian Griffin with this Bucks team was going to be better than Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers already has a worse record than Adrian Griffin does, and ultimately, I think that they let go of Adrian Griffin a little too early. Maybe he didn't get along with the players. Maybe he didn't gel in the locker room necessarily. I don't know what the case was, but from what I could see and from what I could hear, is that Doc Rivers hasn't been a great coach in the NBA the last couple seasons. The last couple teams he's coached haven't been successful. So I don't think he should be a head coach. I think he should be on ESPN like he was. No knock on him at all. He won a championship with the Celtics, which is key. But the Celtics have an absolute dominant first half. We'll get into some more talk corporate dystopia if you want about the NBA and the rest of the league because I love talking about basketball in general. But I do want to go over these halftime scores and halftime reports. But if you have any more questions or want to talk about any more teams, drop them down in the comment section down below, and I'll definitely bring it up after we go over this. But if you want to talk about the first half, get any updates on the first half, here it is, as we're going to be looking at the Celtics and Hawks box score and team stats for you guys. So let's dive in and let's look at that. Like we said, Celtics, no Jaylen Brown, no Kristaps Porzingis, but are up 22 points on an Atlanta Hawks team that is a little less than 500, 3-4 to start off the season. Let's dive in and let's look at these stats. Like we mentioned, the Celtics are shooting lights out tonight. They're shooting 55% from the field, while the Hawks are shooting at around 45%. So the Celtics obviously having better field goal percentages, and the Hawks are struggling from three-point percentage, 20%. While the Celtics took 25 threes basically to start off the game and are shooting 44% from three-point. range. The Celtics have been able to get to the charity stripe more than the Hawks, but are shooting less than a worse percentage. Hawks, 2 less attempts, but are 5 for 6, while the Celtics are 6 for 8, but that is okay. Both teams have equal rebounds. Celtics have one more offense, 2 less offensive rebounds, but 2 more defensive rebounds. The Hawks were more dominant on the glass early on. The Celtics starting to get some action in that glass in the second half, towards the mid/second half. But earlier on in the game, the Hawks were controlling the boards around the same assists as well. Celtics, though, dominating the stocks. 11 steals and blocks compared to the Hawks 4, which has generated a lot of fast break points in transition points for the Celtics, which has been key. Like we mentioned, obviously, the Celtics 22 fast break points to the Hawks 0. Even though the Hawks are outscoring the Celtics in the paint, the Celtics are dominating from 3-point range. If we want to look at the box score here, kind of go over these stats for the Celtics squad so far. Like I mentioned earlier on, for this starting five, Jaylen Brown is not playing, so Jason Tatum needs to step up, needs to deliver, needs to be that number one option, and he is doing that. 9 for 13 from the field, 6 for 10 from 3-point range for Jason Tatum, 2 for 3 from the free throw line. But not only is he shooting the ball lights out, he is also helping out the team as well, finding some beautiful passes to Derek White, to generate some threes, while also getting 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals to have a plus 21 and 26 points. Jason Tatum is looking as one of the prime MVP candidates to start off the season, and this is why. On the Celtics, we also saw some big moments from Derek White and Jrue Holiday. Derek White hit 2 of those threes right there at the end. 3 for 7 from 3, 5 for 11 from the field tonight, but White 5 rebounds and 5 assists with 2 steals and a block with 14 points. Jrue Holiday also stepping up when it is needed, takes a sacrificial role, but delivers when the Celtics need him most. 5 for 8 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3-point range, with 2 assists, 2 rebounds, and a block and 12 points. A player in Jrue Holiday has been really, really successful in hitting those corner threes like he did last season, and really setting up this Celtics team as a playmaker. We do see Neemias Queta getting his first start of his career, and even though he was an early substitution, Queta is controlling the boards, 5 rebounds, 6 points, and looking more and more comfortable with this Celtics team as he's seeing more action, which only makes me feel better about Neemias Queta going into the season and for his bright future with this Celtics team. Horford as well cashed that nice catch and shoot 3, 2 blocks, and 3 points for Horford. Off the bench for the Celtics, Tillman has missed a 3. Hauser has made 1 jump shot, but Pritchard is the main man, as we all know, the dominant X factor, a player who could possibly be in the running for 6th man of the year. 4 for 7 from the field, 50% from 3-point range, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist alongside 1 turnover. I know Celtics Roblox asked this question. How many threes do the Celtics have? The Celtics have a total of 3, 6, 8, 14, 15 3-pointers made tonight out of 34. There you go, Celtics Roblox. As a team, the Celtics had 15 first quarter threes. The record, I believe, was 18 for the first half, as the Celtics had tied or were one off on opening night when they had 17. But we're seeing another lethal 3-point shooting night coming from the Celtics squad once again. Jason Tatum really, really dominating, and it's been crucial for this Celtics team. Like we mentioned, they had a back-to-back when they took on the Hornets. Tatum was very, very dominant in those games. We also saw the likes players like Neemias Queta and Luke Cornett also look very, very solid, and I think that is fantastic. He's on pace to break the record by 1. Exactly. Let's go see the Celtics do that. I mean, Tatum's got 12. So he's not on pace right now, but maybe he could. Think you're talking about the team record. That might be my bad. Celtics Roblox on that judgment. 22 points off the bench for Andre Green and what is that? 22 points off the bench for AJ Green and Andre Jackson Jr. Yeah, the Bucks need to do something. I don't know what the Bucks are doing. Bucks do have some young pieces as well, like Andre Jackson Jr. and AJ Green, that do look nice. So if you're the Bucks, you can keep them and run them, or you can use them to trade them for other packages. I'm gonna check my bets for the night. Talking about a whole team's total threes. Okay, okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, if you want to talk anything Celtics, we're at halftime. We can break down obviously the game so far. We can obviously talk about other teams. I know Corporate Dystopia was talking about the Bucks. If there's any other teams, I know Paulo got hurt recently over the weekend. That was very upsetting.
Chaos manifold, scan cakes, and recycled duct tape. Will it heat my house? Just look at the lights. Don't get bamboozled by false promises. Go with the honest pros that don't only heating and cooling. Our friendly, caring team of experts ensure the
Cavs have been looking very solid as well in the Eastern Conference. They're the only undefeated team, even though they are losing to the Bucks at this moment. Um, they are the only undefeated team. They're a team to keep an eye on as well in this Eastern Conference. The Pacers haven't had the greatest start, but they're also another team to keep an eye on.
Will now serve as the interim head coach. Point guard breakdown is presented by Zenny, the official eyewear of the Boston.
Yeah, it definitely is sad to see Celtics Roblox. I'm very devastated about it because I was very high on him, and I thought he was going to be one of the better players in this league and kind of rising up to that stardom. And unfortunately, that kind of sets him back a little bit. But yes, I did see that the Saints did fire their head coach. One of my friends is a Saints fan, so shout out to Shiv. I've seen Shiv in the chat before, but Shiv, he was here earlier. Don't know if he's here right now, but Saints firing their head coach. He was very ecstatic about that today, and he mentioned that Derek Carr has gotten, or one of my other friends mentioned to both of us that Derek Carr has gotten Dennis Allen fired twice, once from the Raiders and once from the Saints, which I think is kind of hilarious. I did not know that, but yes, the Saints firing their head coach is a smart idea. Obviously, the Saints looked very, very solid in the first couple weeks, and then have unfortunately gotten to some injuries and have then fallen flat. So it's just not good, and that's obviously a coaching issue and a coaching problem. So we'll see how the Saints look without their head coach, with an interim head coach. They look better. If not, then obviously maybe Dennis Allen wasn't the full problem. Maybe it is truly Derek Carr, which I think obviously stems as an issue, and we'll see Derek Carr get moved or something like that. Saints, I think, are in the new wave of getting a new quarterback. They already have Chris Olave, who's very young. Go into the wave of getting a young quarterback, or maybe even going after a quarterback that maybe is available that's a little bit young. I know that we don't really see like interdivisional trades, but Bryce Young maybe could be someone that has kind of been written off that they could go for. Maybe there's some other teams. I don't know. You said your team's mid in fantasy. I don't know if make the playoffs. Yeah, that's the thing that sucks with me, Celtics Roblox. Or luckily for me, I went. We have a league median in my league, so it counts for we if you score above the league's median of the points you get. Even if you lose, you can still get a point. So I've been very lucky that I started off 5-0 with 5 median wins. So I was 10-0 for the season, but then I have now lost 4 weeks in a row. So I went 5-0, and now I'm lost the last 4 weeks. And I've been trading players. Obviously, a lot of I had Godwin on my team. I traded him before he got hurt. I had Diggs on my team. I traded him before he got hurt. I had Olave on my team. I traded him before I got hurt. But unfortunately, some of the players I just have on my squad just don't perform. Like Marvin Harrison's very boomer bust. I have Tyreek Hill, who is I got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who I am very high on, who's someone that I do like. I do have Brock Bowers, he's someone I also like, but like DJ Moore hasn't done anything. Michael Pittman hasn't really done anything. Um, I have Deontay Johnson, but yeah, so Patrick Mahomes. I gotta make some more moves. I gotta figure out some more people to pick up and to grab. But I feel you, yeah. It's just the injuries, and I'm in multiple leagues too. So like some leagues, I'm getting absolutely destroyed. I'm also in fantasy basketball, which in fantasy basketball I'm 2-0 as well. But in fantasy basketball, I got some injuries. I got Scotty Barnes out, I got Jalen Brown out, and I got Kristaps Porzingis out. But I do have a solid team in fantasy basketball in one of my leagues. I got Trey Young in that league and as well. Trey Young, 2 points, 4 assists. Come on, buddy. John Moran hit a 360 layup. That's sick.
the players and everything else is stepping up, but we forced 10 turnovers. And over those 10 turnovers, we got 22.
Eddie is talking facts. We did force 10 turnovers.
Turn them over and get back to it seems like they're not
Yeah, Celtics playing some good defense, playing some good offense. Let's see it continue and translate into the second half. We saw, like I said, a very, very quick first half. Jason Tatum dapping somebody up here, talking to somebody. But it's 8:50. This game tipped off a little over an hour ago, and we're already at halftime, which is pretty wild to say. Usually games last, at least 2.5, maybe even 3. So to see this game go this fast pace is pretty wild. You're 2-0 in fantasy basketball as well. Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm a demon in fantasy basketball. Oh, you do points? Nice, nice. That's a dominant score, Celtics Roblox. Damn, 107-22. I do categories, so it's a little bit different. It's 9 categories. I don't know if you've done categories before, but it's like field goal percentage, free throws, 3-pointers, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, points, turnovers, all those types of stuff.
We make extra shopping easy. Bernie and Phil's. We would also like to take a moment and remember our veterans for your service. Thank you for Bernie and
But
Phil's.
I'm losing right now. But like I said, I got some injuries, but I got a nice squad. Got Trey Young, Jimmy Butler, Franz Wagner, who's going to be nice now that Paolo's hurt, unfortunately, but he was still solid with him healthy. Keegan Murray, Sengun, Cam Thomas, Denny Avila, Jared Allen, Tyus Jones, Zubac, Jaden Ivey, and then my 3 hurts that I got are Barnes and Brown. And then on my IR, I drafted Kristaps Porzingis because I knew he'd come back and I could just drop somebody later on in the season. Thought it'd be Zubac, but Zubac's been hooping, bro. No Kawhi Leonard. That boy's a beast down low in the paint, grabbing boards and blocking shots. And he's just also a big body. So if he's going up against a team with a weak interior presence, the Phoenix Suns, he's going to score. But Rob Williams, ladies and gentlemen, is scheduled to play tonight. So Rob Williams will be making his debut for the Blazers this season debut this season. I got a steal, Tyler Hero in the 9th. Hey, that's a good pick. I like that a lot. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Tyler Hero. Like, I don't like his value, but I think getting Tyler Hero late is good. Like, there's certain players where they're drafted, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't take said player at that pick. But if 2-3 rounds go by and that player is still there, then I'll take that player. You know what I mean? So with Tyler Hero, he's not a player that I'm very high on, or a player that I'm very confident, or a player that I like necessarily believe in ultimately. I think he can grow into a said player like that, but I don't think he's that third star for the Heat that everybody thinks so. I think he needs to kind of get a little bit better. But with a player like Tyler Hero getting in the 9th round, now that is key because now you got a player that if he ultimately does get traded or ultimately, doesn't perform that great, you're not too disappointed in him, not panning out because you kind of had in your mind that you thought he wasn't going to pan out. But if he does pan out and he does look good, then I got the steal of the draft. I am the best. I am the smartest guy in the draft room. So it works both ways. Yeah, Embiid being out is not great either. One of my friends also has Joel Embiid. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like getting him in that late is key. But the game is back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. Tip off is here. 75-53 in Atlanta. Celtics. Tatum from the mid-range. First shot rims right out. And the Hawks grab the rebound. Capella is underneath the basket.
Pursuing the ball, which is leading to our fast breaks.
And here comes Trey Young with the floater. Ooh, that rolled in and out. Kata and Horford both going to try to secure the board. But Horford's going to grab it. 22 fast break points for the Celtics. They have a season average of 16 per game, and they've already beaten their season average in the first half. Nice lob attempt. Oh, little too high for Kata from Holiday. He goes to try to tip it in, but unsuccessfully does not. He gets back on defense to help out in transition, which is key. And Riza Shea misses the 3. And Horford corrals the rebound here. And now the Celtics, I believe, will look to go inside after some missed 3-point attempts. Derek White going to try to bite fake the drive. Never mind. Horford on a little bit of a mismatch on Trey Young, and he's going to get the foul. Great vision from Derek White. Anticipates the drive, wanted to go for the floater, but noticed that Trey Young was on a little bit of a mismatch. So comes back a little bit, gets Horford over on Trey Young, and finds him down low. Trey Young has to foul Horford, not give up free points. And Horford is going to take his first free throws, which apparently I just found out. Yeah, I did not watch the Pats game, unfortunately, Celtics Roblox. I had a busier weekend this weekend, so I did not catch it. But I did see the highlights. I saw he, had a fantastic expiring clutch touchdown. But yeah, that's tough for him to give away the game. And that's the thing with Drake May is I believe in Drake May. I'm very excited to see what he can do for the Patriots. But as we all know, the offensive line's not there. The receiving core is all right. It's going to take a couple of seasons for us to really see the full potential with what this Patriots team can do, but the building blocks are truly there with the defense and Drake May, and if they just get the other things right around him, the Patriots might not be, back to that dynasty of making the Super Bowl every season and winning every single year, but they'll be a compatible team and be one of the better teams in the AFC East because teams like the Jets, who as we see with Aaron Rodgers getting a little bit older, might fade away. Or if the Bills lose Josh Allen, if he were to get traded, maybe that's another case. Or even with the Dolphins with Tua Tagovailoa with dealing with the concussions, the AFC East is definitely up for grabs with Drake May in a couple seasons, depending on how these teams look around us, and maybe even the AFC up for grabs as well.
San Antonio. Yeah, neutral actually belong.
Lob to Capella, he misses that. Kata with some good defense, scaring him a little bit. Now Kata running down the other way of court, passing it out to Holiday. Beautiful by Kata. Catches the ball instead of going up with it, immediately passes it out, knowing I got to kick this out and get these guys open on the 3-point ball. They're expecting me to go up with it. Riza Shea. He's been in his bag tonight, feeling calm, cool, and collected, scoring over Derek White. This was really my first action of watching Riza Shea besides some clips and highlights, but he is looking comfortable in this game. I know obviously he's a rookie, so some nights he might look very solid, some nights he's gonna look shaky, and that's just his coming over to the league moment, especially from overseas. But he's a big lanky body, and I think he's going to have a name for himself in Atlanta. I think a lot of people maybe overwritten this number one overall pick might not be the best pick or the slam dunk pick, but I think he'll be a solid player that helps out what they need right now. Kata misses underneath. Jalen Johnson drives by, and he's going to get a travel. He gets by Kata and Horford. Nope. It's a travel, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Derek White's already doing I love it. He was doing that last game versus the Pacers, just hitting the travel before the ref even calls it. Daniel's trying to poke it from Tatum. Tatum trying to work him down low in the post, but Daniel's not getting away from it. Tatum puts his body into him, and now Tatum airballs his shot. Tatum coming out this second half hasn't been able to hit a shot so far. Daniels, a little bit of a weird confusion pass, but gets it off to Johnson, and now that's a White foul on Derek White. Getting some ticky-tack fouls here now are the Celtics, and the game's slowing down a little bit as we see compared to the first half. Some stoppages here in this third quarter.
Disappointing at Duke, but the tools were always there, and now in year 4 in the NBA, he's
Jalen Johnson wearing some really cool shoes as well, man. I'm liking that colorway. That little pinkish purple.
on NBC Sports Boston. Presented by
Experience Abu Dhabi. And he makes both, but I really like those shoes. I know Jason Tatum had his Spider-Man shoes as well. Stan Poppy's asking, what do I think of Riza Shea's game? I don't, like I said, this is my first. I don't know if you heard this, Stan Poppy, but this is my first game watching Zachary Riza Shea, and I've seen highlights, I've seen clips, but he's looking very, very solid. He looks like he can defend. I think he's going to be more of a 4 than a 3 in this league. He just looks a little bit lankier, maybe look more of like a stretch 4 because he can't hit the 3 ball, but he's kind of just a do-it-all type of guy, pretty scrapey defender. Like I said, I think he could be I think he could grow into a player that could be a helper and a star, but I don't think he's going to be, a number one option type guy. But if he could, average 15 to 18 points in his career, I think that's a pretty solid number one overall pick. Solid role playing guy that can help contend with this squad, being, third, fourth option for a Hawks team. And I've really liked what he's been able to do. He just drove to the basket right there. He's had two really, really nice baskets underneath where he's gone reverse, like acrobatic layup and making it. Like I just said, one of the ones he got a foul on and got the and one. So very calm and cool collective, isn't scared to go into contact. And that's something to kind of keep an eye with some of these rookies. A player coming from overseas has gone up against, more professionals, guys with bigger bodies. So it's a little bit easier for him to kind of go through that, but he's been able to do it. They want to travel down Reza Shea. Not going to get one. Holiday going to fall down. They're not going to get a call on that either. But great team defense from the Celtics translates into a missed Horford three, but Keita comes crashing in. Is that a alley oop off a three for Neemias Keita on a putback dunk? What was that? That was beautiful from Neemias Keita. Nah, you're good, Stan Poppy. You're good. You're good. I got you. I got you. Nah, I just saw that you asked that, but yeah, I'm like, to be honest, I didn't really know much about Reza Shea's game going into the draft. I didn't really know much about him. So when he did get drafted number one overall, I was kind of like, this is a little bit weak. I didn't think he was the best player in the draft. Personally, I thought Reed Shepard was the best player in the draft, and I think ultimately would have went to Atlanta if they didn't have Trae Young. If it was a different team that had the number one overall pick, I ultimately do believe Reed Shepard would have been that number one pick. Like if the Wizards had the number one overall pick, maybe even the Spurs, had the number one overall pick, I could have seen them pursuing a guard. The Hawks obviously having Trae Young, a player similar obviously to Reed Shepard's style and gameplay, not necessarily going to really mesh well, and they don't want to obviously upset Trae Young by bringing in his replacement while he's already on the roster. So Reza Shea was definitely a good, player to kind of bring in to kind of work maybe on the fly, see how he kind of works with this team. Similar to a Keegan Murray pick I see from a couple of seasons ago with the Kings. The Kings that year ultimately could have traded back, and I thought would have been the smart decision for the Kings that year would have been to trade back from that number 4 overall pick, as the Indiana Pacers, who selected Benedict Mathurin at number 7, ultimately wanted Jaden Ivey, as he was went to Purdue in Indiana, was from Indiana. They really, really wanted him as a player. They thought he could fit well in with their team. They were willing to trade up to number 4. The Kings were a team that, we're a little closer to the playoff brink than some of the younger teams. Maybe people thought that they were going to be able to trade back in. The Kings went and selected Keegan Murray, did not trade back, got a player that they thought could fit in well with their team, help them contend, and Keegan Murray has been able to do that, being one of the better three-point shooters for the Sacramento Kings alongside Malik Monk, and ultimately has been one of their better draft selections in the lottery in these last couple seasons, besides obviously De'Aaron Fox. So having a player in Keegan Murray kind of going that route like the Sacramento Kings did can help and can work. So maybe the Hawks do believe if they have another piece or have some more players alongside Reza Shea, that could be their obviously plan. But ultimately, I think the Hawks are going to kind of realize this season that even if they don't have their draft pick, that this team just isn't good enough to win with Trae Young as the number one star, and that the direction is to kind of go the rebuilding route. And I think at the end of this season, or even in the middle of the season, we'll see Trae Young on a different team. I think we were going to see Davidson and Baylor Shireman minutes early tonight. I'd hope so, Stan Poppy. I'd love to see those guys get some action tonight. Those guys are definitely deserving of some playing time. And in a game like this where you're up 28 points in the third quarter, that would be the case, is bring them out early into the fourth and kind of flush this thing away before the fourth could even get underway. And like NJ Flip says, Keita needs to take advantage of the opportunity he's getting, and he definitely has been. I believe that Keita, he did get taken out earlier on, but he has looked solid in these stints, and Joe is rewarding him with that. We saw with Washington, he got 2 DNPs, but then in Indiana, when he not led the comeback, but played very solid as that center and dominated in the glass in that, kind of garbage time-esque minutes where the Celtics brought it back, and he got the reward of playing in overtime. He's been able to develop and get that. And Horford with an acrobatic finish himself off a beautiful Tatum pass. How is Al Horford doing that at the age that he is? I have no idea. But Al Horford making a crazy layup right there. The Cavs won and they're 8-0. Oh, woo! The Cavs came back, Celtics Roblox. I did not know that. But let them have their spotlight. Yeah, I think the Cavs are starting off hot, but they'll eventually cool off. They are a very solid team. Allen, Mobley, Garland, Mitchell, they have some great stars. They got some good role players. Did not think they'd be this great though. I will tell you that. I thought they were gonna be the 7th seed. So them and Indiana might be a little bit different. Tatum, nice pass cutting to Holiday with a nice floater, and the Celtics lead is now 30 here with a little over halfway to go in the third quarter. Celtics absolutely blitzing the Hawks tonight, and the Hawks not really responding with it well. Quinn Snyder not really taking a lot of timeouts, just kind of letting the bleeding happen, kind of just accepting the reality here tonight. Derek White with the layup, misses, but Cada gets the board. Passes it to Holiday. To Horford, getting double teamed. Horford spin outs of it. And David Roddy holds on to it, so it will be a jump ball. The Bucks are 1-6.
We used to do the podcast with Basketball Jones and the starters. Oh yeah, Dunks from Australia's travels at low playing basketball. And he told me he went to Portugal for part of his series, and the facilities over there just aren't what they could be. Well, they are in Spain. I mean, if they don't play, then why would they have great facilities? I think they love basketball. Like, look at this. They love basketball in Portugal. They do. Oh yeah, but they just don't have the right facilities for the guys. Interesting. In programs like Real Madrid or Barcelona. Yeah, it can make a difference. See if we can blaze a trail for his home country. Kicks that ball away from Trey. Yeah. I hate to ask this question. You know, Tavares, Walter Tavares, 7'4" guy. Oh, you don't look like you don't know him. I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure if he's from the Canary Islands. Is that by Portugal? It's nearby, but it's not the same. I'm saying. Trying to find more players in that area.
The rumors true potential redealing trading Springer at the trade deadline. So I don't know how true they are, NJ Flip, but I will not lie to you. I have seen the reports and I have seen people talking about the possibility of it. The Celtics, do have that roster spot open. Cato, oh my God, 2 big blocks on Dyson Daniels. Sorry, those are in quick succession. I think it is very likely that they explore the trade market to see what they can get for Springer. Not necessarily a guarantee they do move off of him. If not, then I don't know. But I can't fully answer that. I would think that his name is definitely on the table, and it is probably the only name kind of being thrown around as he's the only Celtic that they can kind of trade. But what they would be able to get for him, maybe a second round pick, maybe a late first protected, but they're not going to get no standout player or anything back like that. Maybe a veteran minimum contract or something like that, because Springer does make $4 million. They could take a vet minimum on, but ultimately, if Springer were to get moved, I think he would be traded to another team for a second round pick, and then the Celtics would use one of their other draft picks to then trade for another low end bench player to kind of bring in. Or maybe they keep that spot open for Lonnie. I know Lonnie signed overseas, but everyone keeps talking about how he could come back, so I don't know what's going to happen there. But Horford, big board, kicks out to Tatum. Tatum dribbling it out. Sidestep 3. Tatum gone a little cold here so far in the second half, but his playmaking ability has stepped up. Is Drew Peterson on the bench? I do not see Drew Peterson at the moment. I'm looking. Maybe that very well could be him. That very well could be him next to Springer behind the backboard. Oh, Garrison Matthews makes that. I think that might be Drew Peterson next to Springer, but I honestly cannot tell. You think the Cavs and Celtics will have 60 wins? I think the Celtics will. I don't know about the Cavs.
Purchase thinking in his mind, I'm just going to rotate at the corners. No way this guy's going to shoot a runner. Right, right. Also, check the corner. Matthews in his 6th year in the NBA on a Lipscomb. Rangers takes a seat.
I just think it's hilarious that the Bucks are this bad. Because I knew they were going to be this bad.
Three minutes left in the third. Celtics up big. That back in there, puts it to Hauser.
Cornette Hauser layup in over a Kongwu. NJ Flip, that is a great question to ask. In my honest opinion, have I been impressed with Tillman? And the answer is sadly not. If you know NJ Flip, I know you've been in the channel here sometimes for some channels and some streams over the last couple of months, so I know you've been following us not just since the off season, but I'm not impressed with him at all, unfortunately, and that's sad because Tillman, as you guys know, is one of my favorites. If I had to tell you my three favorite players on the team, I love every player dearly. I don't think there's a player I dislike on this roster. My three favorite players are Derek White, Xavier Tillman, and Namus Keita. And Namus Keita and Xavier Tillman are my dudes. And unfortunately, with Namus Keita last season, it was always fighting for him to say that he deserved a spot. Maybe not many people believed that, but he's been able to show that work through the offseason. And Tillman, it was also the same case, kind of pleading that he could turn into this star and he could be this guy that could be this Al Horford replacement. It could be this nice switchable big for the Celtics to have in the next couple seasons. And he played in Memphis, and his 3-point shot was looking bad because he played with bigs that traditionally didn't shoot threes. So implementing him with Porzingis and Horford could turn up his game and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. It's just preseason he looked very solid. His 3-point ball was hitting, but this season so far it could be just the teams we've been playing. But his 3-point shot hasn't been that great. He also Cornette and Kate have also been given more time, but they've also looked better in their minutes, so it's very deserving for them to get that time. And Cornette's always going to get that time. So with Tillman, it's more competing with him and Kata, and Kata's looked better in the recent games. Now, I do think there'll be nights and matchups where Tillman does look better. Like I said, going against some smaller teams, maybe some smaller opponents, maybe having Tillman out there could be best. One example that I could really think is a Warriors team or even a Phoenix Suns team with if they were to take Nurkic out in some late game situations and run Grayson Allen or Royce O'Neal with Kevin Durant playing the center or maybe even running like Anoso Iguodala, one of their young rookies. I think having a player like Tillman out there could be more beneficial for the Celtics. But honestly, my honest evaluation is that I've not been impressed with Tillman. His jump shot hasn't been that great. Defensively, he's been all right, but hasn't been the top tier that I've seen throughout the season and preseason. So top tier that I expected, and throughout what I've seen through the preseason last season, and I think it could be maybe just a little bit of a bad start, but if it's not, then I'm going to be disappointed because I'm very high on him and I want to see him succeed. Stan Poppy, AJ Green hit AJ Green hit a Pritchard shot to win for the Cavs, a 52-foot three-pointer. I am watching this. Give me a second. AJ Green, if you don't know who he is a hooper for the Bucks.
We're always here to get you there. The $6 meal deal is here. It starts with
Oh, they didn't win the game. They didn't win the game. Okay, I'm an idiot. Sorry. But he just hit a 52 three-pointer to lose to the Cavs. That's still crazy. Yeah, AJ Green, he's another young player on the Bucks last season. Another player similar to AJ Green that I like that's ironically on the Cavs is Sam Merrill. They're both Sam Merrill and AJ Green both came into the league last season, both in the same division, both very similar, type players like catch and shoot, smaller guards, pretty solid ball handlers. Merrill, I think, has obviously looked a little bit better in the NBA than AJ Green, but he's been given more opportunity than AJ Green has. But I think both of them can, kind of be some very, very solid scorers off the bench for their teams they're on respectively now, or if they were to get moved and to blossom on some other teams to be key role players in the NBA. Both are very solid playmakers. Both can create their own shots. Both can play off ball with catch and shoot. I really, really like AJ Green and Sam Merrill. Both names are, very underrated names, players you don't really hear, players you don't really talk about, but are very, very skilled ball players. Similar to what a lot of Celtics people kind of figured with Peyton Pritchard a couple of seasons ago. But the third quarter is almost over. The Hawks climbed back a little bit there, now only down 30. Celtics getting a little bit careless on the offensive side, not making some shots. Hawks kind of fighting their way back in, but Hauser corner 3, he delivers right off the timeout, and it do not matter. Back up to 30, 103-73. Now here come the Hawks. Jordan Walsh and Cornette. Tatum getting some minutes with this bench squad tonight. Secondary unit with no Tatum, obviously with no Brown. Tatum's kind of running with this second unit for a majority of the quarter. Tatum now, top of the key, misses, but with Walsh, Hauser, Cornette, and Pritchard, it's allowed them to get some scoring, Obviously, the bus one squad boys and Hauser, Pritchard, and Cornette obviously having that connection. Walsh knowing them and coming off the bench, kind of gelling with Sam Hauser and Cornette, the guys that kind of played on main, and then Tatum being that superstar to kind of take over and help out with this team being key. Oh yeah, I could see Al playing for forever, man. I could see him going 2, 3 years most. I could see him at least getting some more in the tank. I could see him signing a 2. I could see him playing 2 more years, probably max. Tatum missing that 3. And unfortunately for Tatum, just the third quarter, he hasn't been able to find his shot. But the Celtics up 103-75 at the end of the third. A little bit of a cooler third quarter offensively for the Celtics there. Hawks getting a little bit back more offensively, but the Celtics have a pretty dominant lead so far already. And as long as they can maintain the effect on the defensive side and limit this Hawks team, they should have this one in the bag. NJ Flip asking if Brown will be back on Wednesday. I do not know. I did not think that this was going to be as serious as it was. So he was been ruled out. He tweaked his hip during the third quarter for Friday's win over the Hornets. He was sidelined obviously Saturday and will remain out Monday. Do not have any update besides that at the moment. I do not know if he'll be back on Wednesday. I would expect him to, but it could be more severe than we think. I thought it was just a little tweak and that he was just getting extra rest on Saturday, but with him sitting out Monday, it could be a little bit more. But Celtics fans, including myself, thought that with Sam Hauser, with him missing 3 games, and clearly that was just something little. So I'll have to wait and see. That's what I'm saying, Celtics for blocks. This game is flying by. And the crazy thing is, too, is the game tipped off exactly at 7:45 as well. Usually it says tip off at 7:45. You turn on NBA Sports Boston. Scal and is talking for a little bit. They're, having a little fun. So I was, getting the stream up, getting ready to go, and getting everything ready. But when I saw at 7:45 that it was starting and it was starting at my stream and that they already announced the starting lineups and stuff, I was, okay. Well, I guess we're going.
That's yours.
Listen, it's all about winning in the trenches.
Come on, Bobby. You need a superstar quarterback.
Superstar. Always with the superstar.
Let me guess. You're one of those underdog guys.
Everyone loves an underdog. I'm taking him straight up on ESPN Bet tonight.
Well, Bobby.
Trae Young has more turnovers than they've allowed him to score points. The Boston Celtics. That's why I was fearful to go off on Trae Young tonight because Drew and Derek would be able to lock him up, and he's been able to do so.
I gotta find me.
Jalen Green, has he? Ooh.
Welcome back to Atlanta, where the Celtics have more than 100, and we enter the fourth quarter.
Here we go. We're entering the fourth. Celtics with more than 100, just like Drew Carter said. And coming out dominant. Once again, fourth quarter, this game's been on fire. NJ Flip says the Celtics better retire number 42, and I agree. I think that one could go into the rafters. I think Al Horford's jersey will definitely get retired. If it's not by the Hawks, it should be the Celtics. But with the Celtics, it's a little bit difficult because there's so many players. Winning one championship might not cement yourself. You might have to win multiple. Trae Young is not on the Atlanta bench. He is out of the game, I think. Or maybe they're done with him. They sent him to the locker room for fourth quarter. This guy, Wallace. Who's this? Wallace number 2? Never heard of him. No offense. But he might be a rookie or something. I don't really know him. Wallace. Want to find out more about this guy. He's in the Hawks rotation, so he must be worthy enough to be a good enough player for me to know his name if he's playing. He's not a guy that sits on the end. Wallace. Let's see.
To double figures, or else that streak at 70.
Wallace.
Yeah, 26.8.
John Morant. Oh yeah, that 360 layup is nasty.
They want to keep their double-digit point streak alive. They'll come back. It doesn't matter.
Hauser, 3 misses. Cornette with the board.
The offensive rebound.
Cornette kicks out to Derek White. Now Derek White with the floater, and that's swatted away from Okongwu.
Job at the rim.
Okongwu has been very solid at the rim, protecting the rim. This is why I'm saying I'd rather him start over Capella. He's young enough and he's solid enough to do so. They drafted him 6th overall for a reason. Walsh and transition, and what? Too tough. And beautiful pass from Peyton Pritchard on a nice cut in transition. Peyton Pritchard playing that point guard, finding Walsh down low in transition, and Walsh with the even better finish. Walsh is very, very solid so far, NJ Flip. I'm glad he's gotten this role. Unfortunately, missed that free throw, but Hauser tips the rebound. Celtics keep the possession alive. Pritchard 3 misses. Hauser gets the rebound once again, kicks it around, and that's a long pass, and Okongwu intercepts it. Okongwu slam it home. But like I said, Okongwu, another player that I really like on this Hawks team, and a young player that I think should be starting in this league. But Walsh, like NJ Flip is saying, I'm very impressed with him. Glad he's gotten those Brizzy minutes in that Brizzy role. And he's looked very solid in it. I wanted to see him get these minutes last season and was kind of disappointed he didn't get them. But now that Brizzy and Lamar Stevens aren't here, seeing him get those ample minutes and deserving minutes specifically is key. Specifically with Jaylen Brown out, it is also nice to see him stepping up and playing solid. Necessarily, I don't think he needs to be the best player on the team. He's the 8th or ninth or 10th man on this rotation. So definitely needs to be a little bit more consistent from 3 to guarantee him some more guaranteed minutes. But he just needs to, I think, just do the little things. Play hard defense, hustle, show he wants to give a lot of effort, meet players at the rim. If he does that, Joe will truly see, even if he's missing threes, that he's working hard and giving his best opportunity. And Joe will still give him and reward him with playing time if he's doing that. And then once that's coming through, his comfortability with the 3-point shot will come through fruition, and we'll finally get to see him. But there we go. Keaton Wallace. Okay, thank you, Stan Poppy. Thank you. I was going to say he looked like Keaton Wallace with his hair. Like, they have very similar hair, but I didn't want to, and they had the same last name, but I didn't want to, say anything and be, rude. And, if I did misjudge that, but I love Keaton Wallace. Keaton Wallace, obviously, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I do know who he is. Sam Hauser just splashed another 3. Very, very solid guard from Kentucky. And one of the better young defensive guards in the league. And because he's on OKC and not a lot of people are going to know his name because they know Shea, they know Caruso, they know Jalen Williams. But if Casey Wallace is to ever get moved or is to, really emerge on that OKC team, it's GG's because Casey Wallace is basically a baby Alex Caruso that's going to be Caruso in 2 to 3 seasons for them.
It's pretty rare for the Hawks to not have Trae Young on your scoring leaderboard. Again, there's 2 points. Multiple-time All-Star.
Looks like Nene says Celtics Roblox. Hawks got their first fast break points. They did in the 4th quarter. We're so good drafting players that truly fit us. Yes, some players didn't work well for us. I'd rather build a team from the draft, and obviously everybody else is welcome to join the Celtics if they truly want. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Celtics Roblox, I think that's funny, but NJ Flip, I agree. I think ultimate Hauser another 3. Misses that, unfortunately. Celtics keeping this possession alive, but this game is basically over. They're up 110 to 79, so we can just talk regular Celtics and kind of just break it down. But I agree, NJ Flip. I do think that they have to make some moves to get some role players. I think Neesmith ultimately needed to get traded and go to another team to grow. And for some of these young players that are, lottery picks or high-end picks, that's the case. For players like Walsh, for players like Shireman, those players are expected to be role players or players that are going to fit in and just help teams. So I like finding the right pieces and the right fits in that mark, kind of finding those replacements. I think Walsh was kind of a Grant Williams replacement kind of in that draft process, knowing they weren't going to bring Grant back. Then obviously they bring in Brissett, so they give him the minutes. But now with no Brissett, now Walsh can kind of take over and be that 3-and-D defensive wing, while Hauser can be, that 3-and-D offensive wing, which I think is solid to have off the bench because obviously both of them are, like I said, both solid on both. Walsh is still great on offense, but he's better on as a defensive player. Hauser is a very good defensive player, but better on offense. Having both of those guys is key because if one of them is having a bad offensive night or if one of them is having a bad defensive night, you play in the other. If the other steps up and delivers, you keep giving the other player minutes. Having those players that can kind of overlap and kind of coincide with each other's playing styles is key for success, and Brad Stevens has done that. Yeah, we're no Lakers out here. No, I agree with you. We don't be grabbing all the big free agents and stuff like that, which is nice, and that's the cool thing about obviously being in Boston. Obviously, you're gonna get some free agents with a popular name and stuff like that, but Boston itself as a city is a grit and grind city, a blue collar esque type of area where a lot of people respect hard work, understand hard work, want the grind, understand the grind and respect the grind. And players want to see that with their teams as well. So seeing the Celtics be that gritty, grindy, hard working defensive force, not playing lazy, not playing lackadaisical is key. And having players like that and having players that buy into that culture is necessary. And the Celtics have been able to do that with, drafting Jaylen Brown, drafting Jason Tatum, with having players like Marcus Smart, like with having players like Avery Bradley, already Terry Rozier, already in that organization to kind of instill that Celtic culture into them. So when they grow up and they become the star players, they can instill in players like Pritchard and Hauser and Cornette and Springer and Shireman and Walsh, and then those players step up and realize and even stand out better. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Basketball heritage over here is key. And that's the thing what I love about the Celtics. Like, if you're a Celtics fan, you appreciate basketball for what it is, the sport it is, for what it brings to the fans. Celtics fans don't watch basketball to watch a team win. They don't watch Celtics basketball to just see cool players. They actually care about the team. They care about the players. They care about the franchise. There are people that will watch 80, and I know with some other franchises, small market franchises, there are some fans that do this as well. There are so many fans that watched the dire days of this team with Gigi Datomes and the Phil Presseys and all that type of jazz. Trust me, we all went through it after we traded away KG and Paul Pierce and got rid of all those guys. But those are the true. They all they want to see is hard work, and they don't care if the team wins 20 to 30 games. They just want to see good basketball and even with this Celtics team, when they play lazy or when they play bad or they just aren't stepping up and having easy mistakes, fans get frustrated for the right reasons as well. Obviously, when they're getting mad over stupid stuff, that's ridiculous. But Springer and Shireman in the matchup here. So whoever asked, yeah, Keith Bogan's days, exactly. NJ Flip. That's what I'm saying. Like back in those days, bro, it was absolutely atrocious. The James Youngs, like, oh my god, bro. But Jordan Walsh and or Jordan Jaden Springer and Baylor Shireman in here. So the Celtics will be resting the rest of the starters for the rest of the night. The bench unit will be playing against the Hawks starters as Reza Shea's still in.
Yeah, like very similar to Johnson.
Yes, I okay. So Stan Poppy, that is something that we could talk about too, because that is another player that I really liked last year, Delano Banton, and unfortunately for Banton, he was brought into the Celtics as a defensive 6'8" guard that was supposed to be what Springer can be for this team, which is very good POA defender, and just going to take and aggressive the ball all times and just be a fantastic on-ball guy as he greatly crashes and grabs that rebound there for the Celtics. Banton unfortunately didn't pan out to that, and Springer has looked a lot better in that role for the Celtics, which is key. Wanted him like a mini Drew slash Derek as a reckless defender, which I like. But in Portland, he looked very solid, and unfortunately, I think the reason why he looked a little bit better on Portland is because they had some more injuries last season. This year, they also have some more concrete pieces and have looked a little bit better. Banton, I haven't really been paying attention to, but I think he is a player that's on a bad team, probably a bench player, on a good team, a third string player. But if he can find the success, I would love to see it. But if he cannot, maybe overseas is best for him because I think he'd look better over there. And Springer with some great aggressive on ball defense. I love it. 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 To all the people that hate James Springer, to all the hate people,
The steal. Immediately, your book goes up by 5 at least. Working the Australians.
that was beautiful. I love that steal from Springer. just the great aggressiveness from him, and that's what he does. He waits for the player to be a little lackadaisical, waits for the time to strike, and just right on Wallace. Give me that steal, and I'm just gonna slam it home. The aggressiveness, the tenacity, the just all-out drive. I love it from Springer there. That's the thing that he does best. We need the main Celtics to start winning championships as well. I hope so. I hope they have a great season this year. I'm going to try and go catch a main Celtics game this season. I wanted to last season and didn't get up to it. It is a little bit of a drive. It's about a 2.5, 2 hour, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour drive from my house. I don't necessarily know, but I would love to go there.
For sure. You get fouled on a fast breaking for an and one, get the point. I didn't realize that company's fast break block. J.D. Davis got stolen by Keaton Wallace. By the way, for Springer, that was his first bucket of the season.
Springer's first bucket of the season. Now, after Pritchard makes 2 baskets going at the rack, we now see Davidson come in, and Walsh gets an unfortunate foul, but the Hawks are out of this game right now, and the Celtics have too big of a lead to kind of lose it with 5 minutes, 20 seconds left to go. We see Cornette also substituted as well.
Here's a message from Ace Ticket. Boston Zone Ace Ticket has your seats there.
I like how our for me, it's like a 3 hour drive. Damn, Celtics Roblox, that's ass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's a long trip. It's got to be worth it. But I'm gonna go to some Celtics games as well. And if I do go to any Celtics games, and if any of you are there, I'm willing to meet up and talk and hang out and discuss some basketball. I'll definitely let you know what games I'm going to beforehand. Obviously, but definitely wanting to. I'll definitely be at one of them for sure with my family. But besides that, I definitely want to go to a couple more, maybe with some friends or something like that. So I'll let you guys know. I like how our players are taking advantage of the G League because back then they hate it so much. Yeah, I know exactly. I'm liking how, and there's players that understand the G League too. Like Walsh last year, being a contract player, being on a good team, he understood he needed to play in the G League to get a big role into play, and that's key. Shireman with a nice rebound. Davidson for 3 misses that. Roddy for 3. He misses that. And it's just going to be a 3-point fest going back and forth.
Shireman, Morales, and Wallace got a pace. Good play by Keaton Wallace, who spent the last 3 years in the G League in College Park. 25-year-old NBA rookie. Big body Roddy. Yeah, that is a big body Roddy play right there going baseline.
Roddy.
Finishing. 6'4", 255. Saving Roddy.
Walsh for 3. Misses. Springer fighting for it. Springer! Oh, come on. That's not a foul.
Green light special. Final 5 minutes are presented by Eastern Bank.
4 minutes left. Going to be a timeout here.
Just over 4 minutes to play.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I'm talking about a main Celtic. No, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Main Celtics obviously is a troop for 3 hours. I'm saying for me too, like an hour and a half, 2 hours is obviously a troop. But I'm saying, regardless of main Celtics or Celtics, I'm trying to go to both. Hopefully we don't trade PP. We need to maximize his time with us. That's what I'm saying. I'd love to keep Peyton Pritchard for a longer period of time, but it's all ultimately up, I think, to Peyton Pritchard here. I think after this season, he's still on a $7 million deal where he's still going to be viewed as one of the better backup point guards. So if he likes the role that he has, if he likes how his contract is in Boston, he obviously can stay that route and can stick around. But if he wins 2 championships, and if they are back to back, we're going to knock on some wood. But if the Celtics were able to win 2 championships, and Peyton Pritchard, sees that, he might then want to get a bigger role and can kind of see himself. I think this last season was kind of the wake up moment. If Peyton Pritchard plays like how he's been playing so far at the start of the year, throughout the entire season, then I think Peyton Pritchard is definitely deserving of being a starting point guard. And I think a lot of teams around the league are also going to see that. And a lot of teams are going to want to bring Peyton Pritchard in and maybe even giving him a long term extension because with Pritchard's contract, I'm going to look this up right now, actually, before I say anything wrong, but let me check. I think with Peyton's contract, he's got 2 or 3 left. I do not know. Let me look. So He's making 6, 7, 7, 8. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he's got 4 years left. All right. So after this season, he's making 7.32. So at 28 years old, he probably could start and could probably be on another team. So at 7 mil, I could see other teams trading for him. Again, he's a value contract, and then with 3 years left, they could obviously play him for another year or two and then give him a boosted extension. He also could find a team where he could get an even bigger 6-man role. But I think if he's going to stay 6-man, I think he'd just stay here. I don't think it's a high likelihood chance he gets traded just because there are so many dominant guards in the NBA. But I think if a team saw what he could bring to a squad and kind of recognized, like, hey, this type of player would be key for us to kind of have for our rebuild or our retool, let's go out and get said player. And they were to call the Celtics and be like, hey, we're interested in said guy. If Pritchard had already expressed some trade interest with the team already in the offseason or at some point, then I could see that being the case. But the arena is basically cleared out for him. And some ladies just dancing next to a KG jersey, and then you can see nothing else because there's just nobody here. All the Celtics fans are still here, but all the Hawks fans have already exited the building. With 3 minutes and 50 seconds here to go, game has been just a little over a little, oh, just under 2 hours here, and we're gonna get a game right under 2 hours. Would you like to take that risk in future trading JB and JT for draft picks again, just like the Pierce and KG situation? Well, it all depends. Not obviously now, not in a couple years, but if they're at the point of Pierce and KG where a team like the Nets is willing to trade for them even though they're past their prime, then yes, I'm willing to do it. But obviously if they're a team that if it's at this point or in a year or two, no. I've been a big proponent even before I was making Celtics videos on Celtics Digest with just talking to my friends and stuff like that of keeping Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown together. They can coexist, they can work together and never breaking this duo up. And that was proved last season. And I clearly think that they are a strong duo, one of the better duos in the league, and can remain that if they stay. Yeah, Oakland A's a move. What's up, Colby? I missed your comment here, but you're right. We did pluck them Hawks. In the future, past prime, I would agree. Yes, yes. In the future, past prime, but I don't know if a team's gonna do that. But Colby, want to make sure I get to your comment. We did pluck them Hawks. You are right. Travel there for Jordan Walsh, but absolutely dominant performance here. Jason Tatum came out absolutely astonishing in the first quarter. 16 points, had 3 threes. Walsh with a nice tip steal to get there, and then Shireman leading the transition, and then finding Walsh, giving him his reward for getting that steal. But this bench squad really gelling with each other, really working with each other. Once again, Risa Shea with a nice little behind the back getting in, bringing that lead down to 30. And Celtics are taking care of this Hawks team. 2 hours, 6 minutes? Damn. That's a fast baseball game. How many draft picks do we have in the next 3 to 4 years? I can check. I believe we have ours and we have multiple seconds, but I don't believe we have multiple firsts. We don't really need that many draft picks. Springer with another pluck. Davison.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there, to be honest with you. They still have the guys and everything, so they're obviously going to be a tough team. But man, can you imagine their ownership group writing big fat checks and luxury tax bills and they're sitting at 1-6 right now? Well, what's going on is you and Frank Isola cursed them with your pizza slice. They decided to do that for us. Folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Milwaukee Bucks named a pizza slice after Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine. Yeah, because we have the morning show. I mean, can you believe that, Celtics fans? Slice named after him in the Bucks arena.
Damn, Sal has a pizza slice named after him in the Bucks arena.
Who's listening? Get a slice. That's not when they do that.
But yes, this game is over. We have a first round of this upcoming draft, right? I believe so. I believe so. Let me look. Celtics draft capital. Let's look at Fanspo. Let's see. They do have their own this year, and they have a second this year. Next year they have their own. They have their own pick every year besides 28 and 29. So in a couple seasons, but I'm sure Brad Stevens or Joe Mazzulla or somebody will trade for that pick for a 2028 or a 2029 pick in the future. Because at that point, I don't think players in 2028 or 2029, I don't think players like Porzingis or Horford or Holiday will even be on this team at this point. Maybe I would expect Tatum and Brown to be here. I expect Derek White to be here, but those would be the three concrete guys. I could see. I don't see Drew or KP being here. If they are here, they're on cheaper deals, like veteran extension deals. So they might be able to get some draft capital back for some of those players, or get a pick in that draft to draft somebody that could be nice. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe some of these players step up and kind of deliver. Maybe a player like Pritchard takes over and finds his way in the starting lineup for the Celtics. Tillman with a nice putback. Let's go, Kobe. 5 steals, 3 steals, and 5 blocks. That's my depoy right there, playing like some Marcus Smart Celt defense over in basketball tonight. Congratulations on your night, Kobe. Absolutely fantastic. Tillman with a nice board. Davidson, Shireman heaves, misses. Garrison to Reza Shea. Good ball movement from the Hawks here. Reza Shea to Roddy. Roddy for 3. He misses.
Even these guys, you can see it. They rotate.
So Wednesday night, ladies and gentlemen, you know what's happening. Celtics versus the Warriors. That's right. Steve Kerr's coming to Boston with Steph Curry, and the Celtics will look to dominate. That's what I'm saying, Colby. At 5-5, that's beautiful, man. Let's go. Congrats, bro. I am pumped for you. That's a fantastic game. You balling like the Celtics. How's Boston so far? Because I'm planning to visit in 3 weeks. That's awesome, NJ Flip. It's a great time. Uh, Obviously some nicer places, obviously than others. But if you get some time, going to the North End, go and visit, get some nice food. Definitely walk around, go to some nice museums, go to some shops. Let me know if you need any tips or anything like that. But the Celtics get the W tonight, 30-point blowout win on the road. A nice on the road for the past 4 games, starting off with Indiana. The Celtics go 3-1, winning their last 3, including a back-to-back versus Charlotte. This game was absolutely fast. It was quick. Like Celtics Roblox said, it lasted an hour and 57 minutes, as it was over by 9:42 when the tip-off was exactly at 7:45. But the Celtics get a dominant victory versus the Hawks, 123-93 this season, starting off to a 7-1 record. Jason Tatum, a fantastic first half, a little bit of a disappointing second half, but stepped up in his playmaking. Like I said, Tatum, 28 points, 10 for 21 from the field, 6 threes all in the first half, but 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, doing all the intangibles once again. Without Jaylen Brown, he really delivered. And the Celtics stomp on this Hawks team on the road. They go back to take on the Warriors on Wednesday, and like I said, we will be live then. So I'll catch you guys then. But I can't wait to see you then. Once I see you all there. Like I said, we'll have videos, we'll have stuff updating you leading up to the game. But you guys have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you to everybody that came to the stream tonight. Thank you to everyone that's been hanging out. Like I said, Celtics 7-1, starting off the season hot once again. 123-93 win versus the Hawks. I love and appreciate all of you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream, next video, wherever I see you next. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out and go